Good morning, I'm Krista, and I am here interviewing Dana, who is right here. And Dana recently did the Thriving Yogipreneur mentorship program and coaching program. And I just want to really welcome Dana and chat a little bit about some of the experiences she had in the program and some of the wins that came about for her when she was there. So Dana, welcome.
Thank you.
And tell me a little bit about kind of who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Dana. I came into the mentorship program back in July, but I was pretty familiar with what you were offering and just Yoga Rise for a year prior, I guess. And I'm currently a police officer in Edmonton, as well as a yoga teacher and trying to start up my own yoga business. And I was really looking for a shift, I think, when I came into the program and exploring what that would look like, clarifying my vision, that kind of thing. So that's where I kind of started out.
Yeah, when you started the program, like you did your yoga teacher training last year,
Yes.
right? When did you finish?
I guess I started in 2021. I got it in January 2022.
Right, awesome. Okay, and since then you've been teaching.
Yeah,
and you really see, the desire to start to bring more and more of that into your life. So this is a big ambition of yours.
Yes.
Yeah,
I had a very strong ambition to create meaningful events and workshops, and also helping out the first responder community through this path, which I found was very beneficial for me and my journey and kind of the things that I was experiencing.
I love that.
Yeah, I did have a big desire to grow that, which is why I was so drawn, I think, to the Yogipreneur community.
Okay, and so tell me a little bit about that. Like, why did you sign up? What were you kind of hoping that you were going to gain from the program, or how did you hope that it would facilitate kind of your growth in your process?
I kind of knew what I'd be getting just through attending the Living Lotuses and all of the meaningful things that you offer here. So it was kind of, I knew what the path would be like. I was hoping to get more clarity on my vision and on the steps to move forward to really create a lot of growth and expansion, and to learn from someone who's created a lot of growth and expansion yourself and all the other people in the community. So yeah.
When you started, like, where would you say your vision was at when you started the program? Because I know you've always been, you're a very go-getter kind of person. You're very self-directed. You've done a lot of different things in your life. So where were you at? Did you have clarity at the beginning? Did you know what you wanted to create when you started the program?
No, not really. I kind of had a rough idea, but I couldn't concretely say like it was this, it was like XYZ. So yeah, you really helped me with even a lot of that, because I found that you don't really need to know the specifics. You encouraged me a lot to tap into the energy of like how I wanted to feel, and for me that was really, really helpful.
Yeah, because sometimes we can even, when we're trying to create a picture of something, we don't really know what we want.
Yeah.
And I know at the beginning you struggled with that a little bit, and there was a little bit of that kind of up and down where it's like, I'm feeling good, but I'm not really clear on what I want, and is this working? I don't know. And a couple of months like that.
I still feel like it's that way sometimes, but now I just have better tools and understanding. I'm more aware of my thought processes, so I can redirect myself and get myself back on the path.
I love that. And growth really is eternal. So you're in the perfect place at the perfect time, right?
Exactly.
That's so awesome. So how did this, when you say you tapped into the energy and feeling, what started to shift for you when you did that, when you started to really get clear on what you wanted it to feel like when everything was working out? How did that move for you?
Well, I think one of the most apparent things was that in a lot of ways I'm already feeling it. So it's like once you begin to be aware, or you want to create a feeling of energy and surrounded by people who are like very uplifting, I started seeing it a lot in my life. And I was like, oh, I kind of already have it, but then it lifts you up that next level of vibration. And then it's this like constant lifting and lifting. So that's how I started to see it first. And then I've had some really amazing things happen since then, some really fantastic opportunities that I'm still kind of confused on how it happened, but so grateful.
It's the universe. It's what you attracted.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit, some of these opportunities, what started what started to come to you, because you didn't go seeking them out. I think it's important to point that out.
Yes.
That as you started to come more and more from this place, what started to come to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, on 2 different occasions now in the past 8 months, I'd say, I have been given incredible opportunities to go to retreats on like a karma kind of level, and that has been amazing. And then also, like, very excitingly, I was offered to be facilitating workshops and teaching on an online platform called Goya, the Global Online Yoga Association, and it was through the company that I had done my yoga teacher training through, and they kind of, I guess, had their eye on me, which was unbeknownst to me, and they offered this opportunity seemingly out of the blue, as well as a conference speaker position for an upcoming conference, just to talk about yoga and policing and my whole journey there and how it's impacted and shifted in my life. So yeah, really amazing things that I'm like, wow, okay.
Which is incredible, because you hear out there, and one of the biggest paradigms, especially in the yoga teaching community, is that you cannot make a living teaching yoga.
Yeah.
Right? And that seems to get inside people's heads, and people think there's a scarcity, right? Where it's like, I can't actually do what I love to do. I can't support people the way I would love to. It's really, really hard. We hear that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Has it been hard for you, for these opportunities to find you?
No, it hasn't been hard at all. And I guess, yeah, another one was just getting those random opportunities, people reaching out on Facebook asking me to facilitate different kind of workshops and stuff. So yeah, no, it hasn't been hard. It hasn't been hard.
Has it been growth?
It has been a lot of growth, very, very good growth. And I think for me, and one thing that I've always admired about you is coming back to the intention. And one of the first exercises we did in the program is like, what is your intention in being a teacher? Like, what is it that you want to create? And at times when I was not aligned with that, when I was seeking something else, things were clunky. But when I came back into alignment through guidance and coaching and mentoring, things just flourished, I found.
That's
so
amazing.
It's a beautiful lesson. Like, you sometimes have to learn it over and over and over again. Like, okay, I need to come back, course correct.
Yeah, the things that we don't learn the first time, the universe will be like, here's another opportunity. Here you go. Try it this way, right? Yeah, which is just part of the, as we start to internalize more and more own intuitive listening and understanding, so much more of that truth starts to come to the surface, and we can really see when something's in alignment, and when it feels in alignment, and when it's really not, when we might be forcing something, or it's just not the right thing for us, right? Yeah. I love that so much. So you have an opportunity coming up soon, and you're going to be traveling, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to be traveling to Portugal on a retreat. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that. Through the same company that I did my yoga teacher training through, they offered me again an incredible opportunity to go to Portugal at a very affordable rate. So I'm excited. It's a little bit scary, but I've also noticed that when I get a little bit out of my comfort zone and do things that are slightly terrifying, I have like this amazing shift that happens afterwards. So I'm choosing more of that, more crazy things.
Absolutely. And this is where we talk about like setting our goals. Like most of us are setting goals that we know how to achieve, right? We're setting goals that make us feel accomplished. I know some people who just put things down on their to-do list because they know they're going to cross it off by the end of the day, and it's going to make them feel better. But when we actually start to dream and say, what would I really love? What would I really love to be creating in my life? We set a different kind of goal, and it's a goal we don't know how to achieve, and you were really encouraged to do that in this program, and you really stepped into it, and you set some pretty darn big goals and dreams for yourself. And now, isn't it amazing how everything is starting to conspire in your favor to bring that up into fruition, right?
It is, yeah.
It's so cool to see.
It is, yeah.
So when you look at, some of the areas that we focus on in the program are things like our time freedom. How do you feel that your time has been affected through going through this program, from where it was before to how you're using your time now?
That's a good one to ask, because at the beginning I definitely felt the time scarcity, and then yeah, through some different lessons and chatting with you, it's like just add in things that you love to do. And I have never been busier, but also I feel like I don't have any less time. Yeah, I definitely made some shifts in my life, and when it feels good to do those things, it just comes easier.
That's
And
amazing.
you kind of streamline in a way, or prioritize what's most important. So yeah, I felt like my time freedom has opened up,
I love
definitely.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's given you the space to do some of these new things, right?
Yes, yes.
Which is so great, because sometimes when we're growing
Mhm.
and we're like, well, how am I going to do that? I don't have enough time. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the big roadblocks, is like, I don't have the time. I'm not going to be able to do that thing.
Mhm.
But you have actually seen the opposite happen, where it's like, hey, I have more time for the things that I would love.
Yeah.
Isn't that a beautiful
It
gift?
is. It is.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
And so we also look at finances, because again, coming back to, just that belief that we have about, being anybody in the wellness industry. There's so many people out there working for themselves who don't have business degrees, who don't have marketing degrees, but also who feel like, I can't make a living doing this. Do you have a business degree?
I don't.
Or a
no.
marketing degree?
No.
Okay, just checking. So how has this felt to you, like when you start looking at like where your finances are at, and how that allocation, or your perspective around what you need to do in order to like fill those, check marks at the end of the month, if I've made enough money and I can pay all my bills.
Mhm.
Has your perspective changed or opened up in regards to this? How is it feeling for you right now?
Yeah, it has. And I feel very grateful, because I was able to use that extra yoga income to do certain things. So yeah, I did feel like it was an expansion, and I still have a ways to go. I think in that quadrant, that's definitely like a work in progress, but such great tools. Like I've learned such great tools and just different perspectives to see how I might make money in a different way that feels really good to me. So that's very exciting. It's just opening up the awareness, I think, too, and just being very grateful for everything that does come in quite easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. When you I don't know the answer to this question, but like a year ago, or when you first started your teacher training, like, did you ever think you would be running retreats or doing anything like what you're doing right now?
No, I didn't.
No.
No.
What was the shift for you? You told me about a moment that you had in like November of not 2023, but the year before, where you and I were having a conversation. What was the shift for you that happened?
Where I just wanted to do that?
I think I asked you a question, and you were like, "What if?"
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That shift. So I was very much in my circumstances and my conditions of, this is my job, this is what I'm doing. It's kind of like this, or I don't know, like something else that is already offered or already exists for work and to make money. And yeah, you had asked me like, well, what if you could do something you love? And it was very confusing to me. I'm like, but what are you talking about? I just have to do like either this, or this. So yeah, you planted that seed, which created a lot of turbulence in me, but I'm so grateful for it, because I definitely have a whole new view on what could be possible, and I dream a lot differently than I used to dream, for sure, because before it was just kind of like whatever is offered, like you can have this job, or you can have this job, or this job. I was like looking at that being like, oh, well, which one would I rather, when it's like in reality, I just want to dream up something that I would love.
I love that.
Yeah,
That
been
is
fun.
powerful. That is so interesting too, because I feel like you've hit something really potent there, where I think so many of us, we make choices based on what appears to us, whatever reality is going to show us, whatever opportunities are coming our way, and we just think like, oh, I have to do that, and that's living life by default, right? And so in that it doesn't just apply to our career either, it applies to every aspect of our life. but that's living life by default.
Yes.
And now what it sounds like is that your perspective has shifted,
Mm-hmm.
and you are now designing your dream life and getting to live from that. And it's
Yes.
a work in progress, but all masterpieces are.
Yes.
And continue to grow and grow. But now, like, what a difference. Like, your life has gone 360 degrees
Yeah.
from where you were a year ago. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, it really is amazing, honestly. It's really amazing. And it's such subtle shifts, but it's not easy, right? It's not always easy to shift your mind in that way, but it's really simple. Yeah.
We're like just left or just right of that perspective that's going to change our lives.
Yes, and that's what I feel.
Can you talk a little bit about how the mindset support in the program, like I know a lot of people out there think if I just had the perfect marketing strategy, if I just had the perfect technique to launch my program or to run a workshop or do a teacher training thing or whatever it is, whether it's yoga or wellness and some of the thing, how important was the mindset for you?
Oh, the mindset's everything, because I think when you shift your mindset, you begin to open yourself up to a whole other world of options that you didn't even know existed. And it invites creativity and just so many different things. You might meet someone who can help you along the way. You might have a really great idea. Yeah, the mindset is absolutely incredible. And like for my own personal, like with my children and even with my job, my mindset has been the thing that's probably keeping me most intact, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's a powerful thing, right? Because we can only see from the lens that we're looking.
Yes.
We literally can't see outside of that. And when that lens starts to change and we realize, like you talked about, having different tools and realizing, there's a lot of different ways I can look at this. I can switch my lenses anytime I want. And hey, I've got a whole case full of options here. Now let me look and say, like, how is this really serving me? Is this serving the people I want to serve?
Yeah.
Is it serving my family? Like, let's build something that's actually benefiting everybody, and it becomes a win-win-win all the way around. But until we have those lenses, we're just sitting there with glasses on. We might not even know we're wearing glasses, right?
Yeah.
We might not even know the way that we have filtered our perspective of what's possible. And this program really gives you the tools to start looking and saying, you know what, let me dream a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let me see from a few different angles. Hey, now I feel like the world is opening up to me.
Absolutely.
Which is how it actually is.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
It is.
So as you know, there's lots of people who kind of, they come into the community, they attend some of the master classes I put out there and things like that. And they might be sitting on the fence right now thinking, should I do this program? Maybe I want to do workshops. Maybe I want to run a course. Maybe I want to do teacher trainings, or maybe I just want to shift from my 9-to-5 income to doing something I love. But I don't know if this container is for me. Like, what would you say to somebody who's in that position right now?
I would say that being a part of a community that can have those different cases, like those different lenses, to open up possibilities in your mind that you hadn't even thought of, is priceless. And the things that I've learned in this mentorship program have not only influenced like my own life and how I am expanding my yoga business, but it's impactful for my children, because I'm teaching my kids some of these important things that children like I didn't necessarily learn. It's helpful to the community that I serve when I go to work every day. It's helpful for my colleagues because now I'm dreaming more. And so it's just like the ripple effects of this are so never ending. It's so expansive. And for me, it was so valuable. It really, really was to get some skin in the game and to invest in yourself. It made me take it more seriously, because I do a lot of personal growth. I read a ton of books. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I've been on a growth journey for the past 5 years, but I've never been able to, from reading those books and doing those things, have that connection to the community in the way that the mentorship is a connection to the author, right? Like, I can't write the author an email to be like, this is what I'm going through, and have that coaching. So it's very, very, it's like full embodied success in a way.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And it sounds like, when you're looking at that, not being in that container, you would have had a very different
Yes,
outcome.
absolutely.
Very different actions would have been taken.
Yeah.
Very different perspective. You might not have dreamed the way that you dreamed.
Yes.
You might not have attracted the things that you attracted.
Mm-hmm.
And you are the type of person who you do grow. You make things happen for yourself in not a forcing way, but in a way where, like, when you see opportunities, you do rise to those occasions. You've done that your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So you're coming from already like a very accomplished, a very high vibration, and yet this container gave you so much more support to grow
Yes.
exponentially further
Yes.
than where you were before.
Yeah.
I love that.
It really, really did. Yeah, I loved the check-ins with you were really meaningful to me. Even it's just something about writing to someone else and not yourself. Like, it's different writing in a journal versus like sharing your progress with someone else. So those were highly impactful. And a lot of times I was able to pick out some of the things that I was getting hung up on, and then just celebrating the wins with other people in the program on those deep dives. Like, there was a couple ladies too that were frequently at the deep dive calls, and I just, like, when they won, I felt like I won, and it was just so exciting. And that is really, really, that's rocket fuel too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny because another person I just interviewed recently was mentioning the same thing where, we get to become a part of a community,
Mm-hmm.
and many of us are local, but some of us are further away,
Yeah.
where everyone is cheering for each other, and it's really taking that comparison and competition
Yes.
right out of the equation, because we're moving into an age of cooperation. We need to celebrate other women, celebrate other women's wins, really empower and uplift other women. And that is really what this program is also designed to do,
Mm-hmm.
is give women an opportunity to really step into their truth and their heart and embody that, and feel that the community around you is just here for you, really.
Absolutely.
And getting to learn from their wins and successes inspires you. It's like, I can do
Yep.
that too. I'm going to keep putting my best foot forward. I'm going to keep doing the uncomfortable thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to open up this element of ease within me and ease within my life and flow. And we don't access that when we're kind of sitting on the back burner going, should I, could I, second guessing our every move. We need to be in a container where people are saying, you know what, you've got this.
Yeah.
You've really got this. You're capable of
Yes.
more than you know. Go get it. Let's go. Right?
Yeah, and what you just said really hits home, because I have a very supportive family, very supportive friend group, but no one supports me in the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And that container supports in a way that it's like, don't fear anything, like, just go for it, trust. Like, we don't have a lot of people in our life, I don't think, and if you do, you're lucky, that really invest that into you. So it's important to have those people who do say that, whisper that in your ear.
100%. And as a coach, one of the most important things is to be able to see your potential even when you can't,
Mm-hmm.
and to know what you're capable of even when the mindset is there, just second guessing things and is unsure.
Mm-hmm.
And when we hold this space, when we come into this space and really embody it, other people come in like you, and here you are, and look at everything you've been able to manifest, knowing that you cannot fail.
Yeah.
You literally cannot fail. And when I look at how your life has completely transformed, and all of the dreams you still have that you are still on the path to realizing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not only so proud, I'm just overjoyed for you. I'm just, I could cry. I'm like, it's just so beautiful to see. And I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy that everything has moved the way it has, and it's just going to continue to do that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking the time
you.
to chat with me, Dana, everyone. She's amazing. And I'm so excited for everything that's going to come for you in the next few months.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm excited too. And thank you. Yeah. You planted that little seed, and like I said, I felt like a hurricane a bit inside. Like, what do you mean I can do something that I love? But I'm so grateful for that. So grateful.
It's amazing the seeds that we plant that take root, and the powerful, they talk about an oak tree coming from this tiny, tiny little seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it holds this amazing potential to
Yeah.
become one of the most majestic, beautiful trees in the entire world, all captured within this tiny seed of potential. It's like we all have this seed inside of us. And when that seed cracks open, just watch out.
Yes.
Amazing things can happen. And that's what this process does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.